Hey guys, day 5 here. The car's running, I have no issues with it. We're just gonna tinker with the small items today. I got this carbon fiber hood from a subscriber, maybe back last summer. He gave it to me for free. The only issue with it is that you see how it has the cracks in the clear coat? It's functionally sound, but we're gonna put this on today, and you guys know me, I like to measure and weigh stuff. So we're gonna weigh it and see what kind of comparison it is to the stock hood. I'm going to adjust the suspension. The rear is really low. That should be an easy task. I'm gonna change out the headlights. Gabe had bought 2 brand new headlights. These are depot headlights, but they're super sharp. The insides are really nice. I'm gonna take these off. We're gonna put on, of course, my headlight scoop. One of those headlights I picked up from a junkyard, I'm gonna swap to this side. I think I might use these on my SI, my green SI, my hatchback, just because they're a little bit nicer in the build and quality of them because they're newer. So we're gonna replace those, that way I can use a little bit more worn out headlights for the track. We're gonna get the front bumper removed. We're gonna try to fit the wagon bumper. Of course, we're gonna have to remove the wagon filler piece. I don't know how to do it. I think there's a couple screws there I was looking at. We'll figure it out. It cannot be difficult. And I do have the brackets that came with that wagon, that came with that bumper off the wagon. So in case I need to use these for that particular bumper, I'll be able to swap these, especially when I have the headlights out, it'll be easy to get to. And then I'm also gonna swap out the rear wing on this car. I'm gonna take the wing off of my track car, put that on here. And the same for that front lip. The wagon bumper is, the bumper is similar to the 88, 89 hatchbacks, so that lip will actually fit on this bumper as well. And I wanna use that one, I really like the way that lip looks. And then lastly, the interior stuff. Just gonna swap out my bucket seat, which is very easy. And same with the passenger seat. I noticed there is a stripped bolt right here on this mount, so I'm gonna drill that out, get that fixed also, because it's unsafe when you're at the track. You can't not have any of the mounts missing bolts or stripped bolts. So I'm gonna get that in there, so if I decide to have passengers ride along at the track, I can do so. And then tomorrow morning I'm getting the car aligned. That's why I'm gonna set my height today, get the adjustments set to where I'm happy with, and then get it aligned to the specs I want ready for the track. And I'm waiting on my tires to arrive, but that's not a big deal because I just need to get those mounted and balanced and get these Yokohamas removed off the track wheels. And I would decide to go with some Nitto NTO ones again. These are the ones that are still on my buddy clubs. I'm just gonna keep these for a little bit of daily use. If I feel like taking the car for a cruise or taking a car wash, I'll just swap these wheels on and maybe we'll have a little bit of fun in the car. But I really like the tires, so I'm sticking with the same kind of tires, but I'm going with the 225 45s on the NTO ones. And then after the alignment tomorrow, I think I'm just gonna wash it, clean it up a little bit, detail it, make sure everything's running good, and I'll probably actually drive it for the next couple of weeks back and forth to work, just to make sure I'm not having any issues with leaking coolant, leaking oil, whatever. I shouldn't have any, I wasn't before, but I like to be prepared for that because I do drive it to the track and I will drive it back home. So let's get started on swapping all these parts out today. Another thing I'm going to remove are the LED units that were on the car. It's a little too much wiring for me, and I just don't like how messy all these wires make it in this area. I've never taken a filler piece off of a wagon before. So what you need to do on the ends, you have these 2 brackets that are gonna be on both sides. Just remove all of the screws. There's 4 Phillips. And then along the front of the filler piece, you see these little clips? All you gotta do is pop these out. Very easy, just use a screwdriver. You can pop them all out. And then that allows you to remove the filler piece. Very easy. Just gotta get it up around this corner. There we go. Filler pieces now are removed off the bumper. Now the Wagon bumper has these longer screws which go into these locations, so we're gonna need to remove those and replace them with some lower profile hardware. The reason being, if you don't, those are going to hit the filler piece on the car, so it will not work. And see, here's the hardware on the original bumper. It's real low profile, that way it sits close to the bumper and slides right underneath the filler piece. Now it's entirely up to you what you want to put on there. You could use like some fender hardware if you want, or just probably some of the bolts that normally hold like fenders and everything together, the 10mm, those should probably work as well. What I'm going to do is dig through my box of screws, and see, I already have some in here. This is the size you need, and these are the original ones, so I'm going to just find a handful of those and get those swapped out. And now when trying to mount the bumper, I pulled off the bracket because I wanted to match it up to the Wagon ones. This is a 90-91 Civic hatchback bracket. This will be an 88 to 91. They're all the same because the bumpers are all the same. But it looks like the holes are in the exact same position. Same with the hole for where the little clips hang when the bumper hangs on the bracket. So it doesn't look like we'll be able to use these. Now I pulled off the 88, 89 hatchback brackets off the black car. And you can see right here, see how much higher the holes are? So that's gonna make the difference in mounting these on there. I'm gonna go ahead and put both those brackets on the car, and we're gonna test fit the bumper now. Okay guys, and there's a test fit with the bumper. I just put the 2 bolts in, holding on with the brackets. And now you can see that it actually lines up very well in the corners. Once I put the screws in, it'll have a very similar fit right there on the corner. And all the way around, same with this side. Once I put those screws in, it'll actually fit like an OEM bumper. The thing that's cool is that it still has these fat moldings, just like the 90-91s. So it doesn't look different there. Of course, this is black. I think I'm gonna get it painted. Not yet, just because I don't have time. I just want to get it fitted on there with the lip. But I want to give you an idea of how it looks. And honestly, I think I'm gonna just leave this bumper on there all the time, especially once I get it painted, because my bumper on here, if you look, it's been cut, it's damaged. I'm not a fan of that. So I would rather just keep my eyes on the lookout for another 90-91 bumper, just to have in case I do want to go back to that look. But I'm gonna leave this one on there, and maybe after the first track event and before the next, I can get it out and do a little bit of fine tuning and also repaint the filler piece. See all the little rock chips in it, and just do some really nice detail work on the car and get it cleaned up. And because I don't like the way it looks with the black front bumper, the solid, especially if the white one's gonna be, the rear one's gonna be white and not black. So I think I'm gonna have it painted from here down. I may try to attempt it myself using some Rust-Oleum like I did with the filler piece. And this actually came out really nice. It's just old. If I wax it and clean it up, it's really shiny still. But since Gabe's been daily driving it, it got a lot of rock chips. He was driving 30 miles one way to work every morning, and he'd been daily driving the car. So that's how it looks for now, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting this lip put on the bumper now. This is the one I have on the 88, 89 bumper. I'm gonna need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the brackets for this bumper back onto that car. I could possibly maybe just modify these somehow to get it put together, but we'll see. I'm gonna keep my eyes open for a set of 88, 89 brackets first. If not, I can just modify these and get this back onto the car without having to modify anything else there. I'd rather modify the brackets than the bumper support. Okay, I finished getting the lip mounted. Went ahead and swapped over my protective grille from the 90. Now let's get the bumper put on and take a look at it. Okay guys, got the bumper lip on. I took the hood off. I'm gonna go ahead and weigh the hoods. I wanna see what kind of difference in weight we're looking at. Okay, an OEM hood. Looks like it weighs about 29 and a half, 30 pounds. Now the carbon fiber hood. You're looking at, I don't know if you guys can really see it. Let me show you. 17 pounds. So, looking at savings of about 12 to 13 pounds on just the hood alone. Okay, now with the hood on, I'm having trouble with the hood. This is it's a VIS hood, but it's hitting the radiator cap. So I'm having trouble closing it all the way, and I don't want to keep pushing on it and potentially break it, so I'm gonna have to see what I can do about that. I'm just gonna take the hood off for now and put the white one back on. It looks pretty cool with the carbon fiber on there, but I'm gonna have to figure that out, and I don't want to mess with it now, and I need to be able to secure it, so I'm gonna put the white hood back on and just leave that one on for the moment. I don't know if you guys have ever used these reverse drill bits. There was a broken stud in here, so I drilled in. I was trying this one, but that one's a little small. So now I'm using a little bit larger one. Once you drill in, these actually spin in the reverse direction, but it's hard to get that little handle for like a tap and die set because there's no room to spin it. So I just use a little crescent wrench, and it looks like it's working. See, and there it is. I was able to knock it out. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. You see on the back side here how I drilled the hole? And that's what allows you to get it out. When you put this in, it's reversed. So see how it catches? And it catches and it spins it out. So now I can get the other seat bolted up. You know what, guys, since I have the chair out, let's weigh it. Let's see how much it weighs. I'm curious because it's always a good chunk of weight to remove if you're going to the track. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it weighs 36 pounds. So imagine taking that out, and then any of the other front weight, like moving your battery to the back, you could effectively eliminate 70 pounds from the front half of the car with removing the seat, and then putting that 40-pound battery in the back, and then maybe even getting a smaller battery. So just some food for thought. And just to compare, let's see how much these Integra seats weigh. Get one lifted, spin it around. In, yeah. These weigh 32 pounds. So the difference is only 4 pounds per seat, which isn't a huge amount. I knew the Type R seats would weigh a little bit less. They're supposed to be lighter, but I was always curious. Now, some people might be asking how, and I've had people ask me before how we put these seats in, and you can see right here. See how we grinded it off? We essentially, this bracket was normally the outside bracket on the driver's seat. I went ahead and cut both of them off, and then we flipped sides because it ended up putting this mount out further, and it was perfect for the EF. So we reversed that side. Same with the back here. Let me slide the chair forward. You'll see how it's not perfectly centered any longer? We went ahead and we just grinded the bracket off. There's two little studs that are normally in there that we grind off, and then you're able to pull it through. And then we positioned it and we re-welded it back together. So that bolts up perfectly to the stock mounting positions. And then for back here, there's normally a stock hole here. We just enlarged it so it would reach the hole on the 9091 EF chassis. So these seats bolt directly up into any 9091 EF hatchback. Alright guys, check it out. I got everything bolted up. I love the way that this front bumper fits on these 9091s. It's cool with the molding being the same. I took that little decal off on my lip, I'm gonna try to figure out what I want to do with that. I'm not sure yet. We got the Corbo installed. I put on my wheel instead. I'm gonna move that Momo wheel over to my Wagon and then my personal wheel over to my CRX because the personal's cool, it has a yellow logo. And then got the passenger SI seat installed as well. And see that hole in the front bumper? What I was thinking of doing, just to kind of make it a little more uniform, is I'm gonna make a rectangle, so it's a little vent. And I think I might make one right here also, so I have two matching vents. I think that could look pretty cool. It's really not gonna do much in terms of, I guess, performance anyway. It's more of an aesthetics thing, I think, right now, having that lip on there. I'm sure it could possibly help a little bit, but I don't imagine it being the biggest thing. So I think a second hole right here, one there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start on that right now and see if I can get that cut out real quick. And here's how that bumper turned out. I think I might make the holes just a little bit longer, but I am happy with the way it looks. Much better than just putting that off-centered sticker on there. But there it is, guys. It's complete. Finally finished everything up. Got a few small things I like to take care of, but nothing that will stop me from driving at the track. Just had the alignment finished up. Went with a negative 2.5 camber setting, front and rear. I wanted to try that out with the 15x8s. I also got some new tires in. I will get those mounted soon. Well, it probably won't be included in this video though. But here's a finished look at it. Want to do some fine tuning and cleaning once I get the chance. Like get the moldings darkened up. Haven't had a chance to wash it. It was really ugly out yesterday. So it's still a little dirty, especially like where I took the mud flaps off the car and everything. I went ahead and put on my old track wheels and tires. It's warm enough out that I can leave these on now without worrying about cold weather damaging the rubber compound. But I think it looks excellent. Got my wing on. Really big fan of the Wagon bumper. And I can't wait to get that painted. I think it's gonna look a lot nicer when it's painted white. I'm gonna repaint the filler piece, and I might even have the hood repainted. We'll see once I get it washed in detail how clean it looks, and also depending on the time. But right now, this time of year, it's way too windy and it's still a little too cold for me to paint anything, so I won't be getting that done anytime soon. But the car is done. I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm glad I got all the work done, and I'm excited to get back out there at the track. So stay tuned for some future videos. I will be at the track shortly, and I'll get some new footage with this car and hopefully some of my friends that are out there as well. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.